Number one, it asks you to factor it. So the easiest way to do that is, to me, is the X factor method. So we are going to go ahead, draw the X. Your top number is 21, for those of you who are arguing about that. Your top number is 21. Your bottom number is a negative 10. So we're looking for something that multiplies to give you positive 21, but adds to give you negative 10, which would be negative 3 and negative 7. This is why I was talking about the other day. A lot of people like the quadratic formula because you don't have to spend all your time figuring out what two things do that. You could just plug in the numbers to the quadratic formula and get your answers. If you're really bad at figuring out things like this, do the quadratic formula. You don't have to worry about it, okay? Since the first number is a 1, you don't have to do the box at all. You just say, okay, x minus 3 is your first factor, and x minus 7 is your second factor. We actually do want the solutions now, so what we would do is we'd go ahead and set those equal to 0. X minus 3 equals 0 is a one-step equation. You'd add 3 to the other side, so x equals positive 3 is your first answer. And then your other one would be x minus 7 equals 0. You'd add 7 to both sides, which would give you x equals positive 7. So that's how you find the solutions, by factoring. Same exact thing for number 2. We would start by doing the X factor method. Your top number would be A times C. Your A is 1, so 1 times 18 is still just 18. And B is negative 11. That's your bottom number. We're looking for something that multiplies to give you 18, but adds to give you negative 11. Negative 9 and negative 2, you could have switched the order of that and still same thing. Since your first number is a 1, you don't have to do the box. You just start with x and then your first number, which was negative 9. You do x and then your second number, which was negative 2. Also, order does not matter here. You set those equal to 0 and solve. I'm going to actually skip that because I know my answers are going to be x equals 9 and x equals 2. And I'm done. Okay, I need to make my marker a little smaller for the next one. It says, there's like a little error on the next one. It says by graphing. We're still factoring these. We also just want to graph them. So we don't want to graph these. Well, we do want to graph these. It's just we want to graph using factoring. So if you want to mark out the instructions are misleading. That's not what we're wanting. We want to graph using factoring. Same thing with this one. It's telling you to find the solutions by graphing. We want to actually graph using factoring. So we are going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to start by doing our little X factor method. Your top number is A times C. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Hopefully you can see this. I know my numbers are probably pretty small to you. The bottom number would be negative 2. So we're looking for something that multiplies to give you negative 3, but adds to give you negative 2. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, and negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So our two factors is x minus 3 and x plus 1.